Hey guys, what's up? It's Mark here, and it is Thursday, a CBS day, but you all know what's going on. There is no CBS. No CBS, no church, no school, no nothing. Why? Because of this thing called COVID-19. It's this thing that's like going around and keeping people from getting out, and I don't know. I'm sure you guys have heard all the stories, and no one's scared, right? Well, I'm here today to go over our lesson. Now, I'm not going to go over the whole lesson because have you been doing your lesson? Hopefully you've been doing your lesson, but in case you haven't, there's one spot in the story that I wanted to talk to you about and read to you and maybe ask some questions and see what you guys think. So here it is. This is Acts 21, and we are in verse 17. When we arrived at Jerusalem, the brothers and sisters received us warmly, and the next day, Paul and the rest of us went to see James, and all the elders were present. Paul greeted them and reported in detail what God had done among the Gentiles through his ministry. Now, this is the Jerusalem Council. If anyone in the church in these days is Paul's boss, it's these guys. A lot of the apostles were on this council. James was the brother of Jesus, so this is a big deal. He valued what they said. Now, verse 20, when they heard this, they praised God. The elders were happy. They were glad at what God had been doing throughout the land. And they said to Paul, great work, good job, buddy, you're doing good. But here's another issue that's going on. They said, Paul, there are many thousands of Jews who believed, and all of them are zealous for the law. They have been informed that you teach all the Jews who live among the Gentiles to turn away from Moses, telling them to not circumcise their children or live according to our customs. What should we do? Those people will have certainly heard that you're coming here. So what do we tell them? You see, the Christians in those days were living in this weird tension between two cultures. They were the Jews on one side, God's people, and who had a long history and a long track record of tradition and teaching. And then the Gentiles, who were Greek, had weird customs, did worship strange gods, but a lot of them had come to know Jesus as well. And the two sides are trying to figure out what Christians were supposed to do. The Jewish Christians were concerned that Paul was telling people, now this is a rumor that was spreading. It probably had something to do with the words Paul said getting twisted. So now people were actually saying that Paul thought that Jews should not follow the law, should ignore everything that Moses had said and just go off and do whatever they wanted to do. Well, that was wrong. Paul had not been saying that. But what Paul was saying was that Gentiles did not have to conform themselves to Jewish law and tradition. So they twisted what he said to say something else. Now, Paul realizes this is a problem. The Jerusalem Council, all these elders there, realize this is a problem, and they want to make it right. So they say to Paul, here's our idea. Here's what we want you to do. There are 4 men with us who have made a vow. Take them and join in their purification rites and pay for their expenses so that they can have their heads shaved. Then everyone will know there is no truth in these reports about you, but that you yourself are living in obedience to the law. So they're asking Paul to go off, join these guys who are doing this thing that doesn't sound very fun. And it sounds like it'll cost Paul money. So what does Paul do? Paul wasted no time in doing exactly what they asked him to do. Now, why do you think he did that? Do you think he wanted to go and shave his head and pay money to make up for some mistake that someone else had made or some rumors that other people were spreading? I don't think so. But he did it. He did it because it was the right thing to do. He did it because those people who were in authority over him asked him to do it. And he did it right away. He didn't waste any time. So here's my question for you. Has there ever been a time when you needed to do something and you knew it was right, but you didn't really want to do it? You tell me, what's your story? What I want you guys to do is comment down below. Write a little story, maybe a brief moment or a couple sentences on something that happened where you did the right thing, or maybe where you knew the right thing to do, but you chose not to. All right? That's it for this week, guys. I'll catch up with you next time. Maybe Hattie will be here. I don't know. But hope you guys are staying safe, staying alive, and having fun. Be nice to each other. It's easy to go crazy cooped up for a long time with your family, but this is a chance for you guys to be an example of kindness, of love, of forgiveness. Let's figure out what Jesus wants us to be during these next few weeks. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Peace.